It was Christmas Eve. Snow covered the forest, deep, unbroken. I had been lost for hours, long enough to stop counting time. My phone died. Cold took it. The compass didn't spin. It just pointed nowhere. I set up the tent where I stood, not chosen, accepted. Inside the sleeping bag, I listened. No wind, no animals, just the forest, wide awake. I don't know how long I slept. Something pulled me back. Not a sound, a change. The silence felt thinner, closer. Then I heard it. Snow, compressed, slow. Not footsteps. Too careful. Something moved outside the tent, circling, testing the ground. I stayed still, counting my breaths. The sound stopped, right beside me, close enough that I felt it through the fabric. I didn't move. The cold pressed in from every side. Then the tent shifted, just slightly, as if something leaned closer. Snow slid down the fabric, slow, controlled. I could hear breathing, not mine, too steady, too calm. I held my breath. Outside, something mirrored me, waiting for me to make the first sound. My fingers twitched. I stopped them. The breathing stayed, unbroken, patient. Then, a sound near the zipper. Soft, curious. Something brushed the fabric. Once, twice. Not searching, learning. I wanted to scream. My throat locked instead. Outside, the breathing slowed, as if it knew I was awake. A memory surfaced, uninvited. Christmas lights, warm rooms, voices far away. They felt unreal now, like someone else's life. Outside, the sound shifted, Snow pressed down. Weight transferred. Something knelt beside the tent. Careful, balanced. I felt the ground move, felt it settle in. Then a shape blocked the moonlight, right where my face was. The shadow stayed perfectly still. I stared at the fabric, waiting for it to move. It didn't. Seconds passed. Maybe minutes. My chest burned. I had been holding my breath too long. The moment I inhaled, the shadow reacted, shifted, adjusted, as if it had been listening for that exact sound. The fabric tightened, not from wind, from pressure. Something pressed closer, slow, deliberate. I felt warmth through the tent, not body heat, breath. It lingered there, hovering. Then a sound, low, wet, like a mouth opening just inches away. I bit down hard. The thing outside paused, as if smiling. A faint smell reached me. Damp earth, rotten pine, something old. The breathing changed. Deeper now, satisfied. A shape pressed against the fabric. Not a hand, not a face. Something uneven, wrong. The tent creaked softly, poles bending, holding. Then a gentle tap. 1, 2, 3. Like a reminder, I was still here. The tapping stopped. Silence rushed back in. Too fast, too clean. I waited, counted nothing. Then the snow shifted again, but this time farther away. Slow steps, measured, retreating. I didn't relax, didn't breathe easier, because something felt wrong. The forest was listening now. And it wasn't leaving. It was repositioning. The pressure vanished. The weight lifted from the ground. I heard it move away, not hurried, not afraid. Branches parted softly. Snow fell from needles above. Then, another sound from the opposite side, closer than before. I realized the mistake. It hadn't circled the tent. It had counted the angles. And now, it was everywhere. The forest felt tighter, like the space between trees had shrunk. I heard more movement now. Not one direction, several. Soft compressions in the snow out of sync. Too many to track. I squeezed my eyes shut. As if that mattered. A shape passed behind the fabric. Then another. Different heights, different weight. The tent was no longer the center. I was. A sound came from above. Snow sliding, branches bending. Something moved through the trees, not climbing, transferring. The tent roof dipped slightly, then settled. I stared upward, frozen. A shadow crossed the thin fabric. Long, unnaturally long. It paused there, balanced, as if deciding whether the top was the easiest way in. I couldn't feel my hands anymore. Not from the cold, from holding still too long. The shadow above shifted, redistributed its weight. The tent poles creaked. A warning. Snow fell inside the hood of my jacket, cold against my neck. Then, a sound I recognized. Fabric being pinched, tested. Not tearing, not yet. Learning where I was weakest. I finally breathed out. The sound betrayed me. Tiny, unavoidable. Everything stopped. All movement, all sound. Then a response, immediate. The fabric pulled inward, hard. Something hooked itself there, held. I felt the tent tilt, anchors straining in the snow. Outside, the breathing returned, closer than before, right at my ear. A whisper slid through the fabric. Not a voice, not words. More like air being shaped into intent. The breathing slowed again, matched my heartbeat. Something traced along the tent wall, following the outline of my body. It stopped at my chest, pressed, just enough to feel my heart react. Outside, the forest creaked softly, trees shifting, listening, as if this was the moment they had all been waiting for. The whisper faded, replaced by silence, heavy, intentional. I felt the pressure withdraw, slowly, reluctantly. Snow slid back into place. Branches settled. For a moment, nothing moved. I thought it was over. Then the ground vibrated. Once, twice. A deeper sound followed. Low, resonant. Not coming closer, coming awake. From somewhere much larger than the trees. The vibration spread through the snow, through the roots beneath me. The forest answered it. Trees groaned softly, not from wind, from strain. I felt it in my spine, a pressure, like standing too close to something vast. The smaller movements stopped, all of them, as if whatever surrounded the tent had stepped back, giving space, giving room for something else to approach, something that didn't need to hide. The air changed, not colder, heavier. It pressed down on the tent, on my chest, on my thoughts. I couldn't tell where it was coming from. There was no direction anymore. The forest held its breath. Every branch, every root. Then a sound rolled through the trees, deep, slow. Not a step, a shift. As if the ground itself was adjusting to make room. The tent began to sink. Not collapse, settle. Snow packed tighter beneath me, compressed by something unseen. The ground no longer felt solid. It felt guided. I heard wood crack in the distance. One tree, then another. Not breaking, bowing. The pressure around me eased, just slightly, enough to understand this wasn't an attack. It was a gathering, and I was the reason. They had come. A shape emerged in my mind. Not an image, a scale. Something so large, it didn't need to move fast. The forest adjusted around it. Paths bent, trees leaned, snow slid away. I felt very small, not hunted, chosen. The smaller sounds returned, careful, reverent. They weren't surrounding me anymore. They were facing the same direction I was. Towards something standing just beyond the tent, waiting for me to understand why. The tent stopped sinking. Everything held, perfectly balanced. I could feel it now, not through sound, through intention. Whatever stood beyond the fabric was not interested in fear. Fear was incidental. This was older, patient, seasonal. I understood why it chose tonight, why the forest was awake. Christmas Eve wasn't a coincidence. It was a boundary. A moment when things are allowed to cross over. And I was here because something needed to be witnessed. Something that only happens when the world believes it is safe. Something moved closer, not suddenly, with ceremony. The pressure outside the tent shifted, like a presence kneeling to meet me at eye level. I felt warmth again, not breath, recognition. The forest exhaled, slow, relieved. I realized then this wasn't the first time. Others had been here before me on nights like this. They hadn't screamed, hadn't run. They had listened. And when morning came, the snow was always smooth again. No tracks, no stories. Just one fewer person remembering Christmas Eve. The fabric parted, not torn, opened. Cold air slid inside, thick with pine and frost. I saw no face, no eyes, only depth, layered, endless. Something reached in, not a limb, a presence. It passed through me without resistance, without pain. Every memory slowed, every sound softened. I understood then this was not an ending. It was a handover. The forest wasn't taking me. It was returning what had always belonged here. Morning came quietly. Light filtered through the trees, soft and pale. The tent was gone. No fabric, no poles. Only smooth snow, untouched. No footprints, no marks of struggle. The forest stood as it always had, still, ordinary. Far away, church bells rang for Christmas. Families woke. Fires were lit. Gifts were opened. And somewhere deep in the woods, something old settled back into sleep. The forest remembered, and no one else did. Years later, they still talk about that forest, about a hiker who never came home, a tent that was never found. Search teams blamed the snow, the cold, bad decisions. They marked the spot on a map, warned others, moved on. But every Christmas Eve, the forest goes quiet again. Animals vanish. The wind dies. And if you listen closely between the trees, you can hear breathing, steady, patient, waiting, not for anyone specific, just for someone to wander far enough in. Someone the forest remembers.